At exactly 4:12 p.m. on May 17, 2008, televisions across North Dakota, parts of Minnesota, and eastern Montana flickered and froze. It happened during daytime programming. Some were watching Judge Judy, others mid-game shows, others cartoons. Every station, regardless of network, was suddenly overridden. Then came the emergency alert system tone. 3 beeps, long, jarring, the kind used for weather disasters or Amber Alerts. But this time, the message that followed wasn't normal. There was no narrator, no robotic voice reading a county list, no scrolling ticker. Instead, the screen displayed a single message, in bold, capitalized white text over a deep black background. Do not look outside. No instructions, no time limit, no source, and underneath, in red flashing letters, this message is for your safety. The text remained on screen for exactly 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Then, just as suddenly, normal programming resumed. No explanation, no follow-up, no acknowledgement. But something had changed. Viewers immediately took to online forums. Some laughed, some panicked, others admitted they had looked outside. One man described seeing a parked car with no driver, engine running. Another claimed his neighborhood seemed slightly out of sync, like a looping video glitch. A 12-year-old girl in Bismarck said she saw her parents standing in the yard, frozen still, until the alert ended. And one user, only known as _staticsoul42, wrote, "I saw someone on my porch. NBUT, I don't have a porch." By nightfall, local news stations briefly mentioned the incident. They chalked it up to a technical anomaly, possibly an unauthorized activation. The FCC released a short statement the next day. No official EAS broadcast was initiated in the affected regions. "We are investigating signal interference." But behind the scenes, something else was happening. Internal emails from a local affiliate, leaked years later, included one that read, "This wasn't a hack. It was scheduled. The system authenticated it. Someone programmed it. The question is, who knew what was going to be outside?" Quote, "Within 48 hours, over 1,300 posts appeared across Reddit, 4chan, and archived television collector forums. Most were jokes, but a few stood out. A user named Blank Window wrote, "My dad went to the door during the alert. He opened it, then just stood there. Didn't move for 5 minutes. When we shook him, he just said, 'It's gone now.' He won't talk about it again." Another post showed an image, a paused DVR frame of the warning screen. But beneath the text, in the black background, if you lightened the contrast, there was something there. A face, low opacity, no eyes, just a wide, blurred mouth, grinning. A week later, news reports started surfacing. A man found wandering naked along I-94, claiming the trees had faces. A woman in Fargo locked herself in her basement and refused to come out until the sky resets. A high school janitor refused to enter any room with windows. None of them had known each other. None had mental health history. All of them were in the alert zone. Then came the audio files. Some radio tinkerers managed to record the raw frequency during the EAS broadcast. It wasn't pure tone. There was something underneath. Spectrograms revealed embedded noise patterns. One image stood out. A waveform shaped like a human figure, pointing left, always left. One researcher joked, "It's pointing at the window." No one laughed. The FCC concluded their investigation 1 month later. Their official statement, "Cause undetermined. System returned to normal functionality. No risk to the public." But in an internal memo, obtained in 2015 through FOIA, one engineer wrote, "The broadcast wasn't intercepted. It was inserted. And it didn't come from our towers. We don't have the equipment to create that kind of EAS timestamp signature. Whoever did has access to something we don't." Meanwhile, those who had DVR recordings of the event began noticing strange things. On replay, the length of the warning changed. Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer in some versions. The message said, it is already too late. In others, the screen never said anything. Just black and breathing. One VHS tape, played back on a different TV, showed something no one expected. A second message, revealed only in white flashes during frame transitions. It read, "If you're still watching, don't turn around." In 2011, a retired radio technician named Gordon Thales published a short blog post titled, "The Same Message Played in 1977." According to his notes, Thales had been stationed at a Cold War-era civil defense post near Minot, North Dakota. While performing maintenance on backup broadcast equipment, he accidentally triggered a test playback of archived EAS tones. One file caught his attention, labeled EASBNND 47-17.05.77 runtime, 313 tone, standard. Visual cue. None, audio only. Transcript, as written in his notes. Do not look outside. This message is for your safety. It is already too late. Thales had dismissed it for decades, until 2008, when the exact message reappeared. Only this time, it was public. His broke the mystery open. If the signal had been stored in civil defense systems since the 70s, who recorded it? And why had it never been cleared or updated in over 30 years? Earther research found that similar phrases, "Do not look outside," "Remain where you are," and "Do not acknowledge what you see," had appeared in military radio exercises dating back to the 1960s. Some believe they were part of a secret psychological operations project. Others believe the warnings weren't metaphorical. Meanwhile, survivors of the 2008 event, the ones who looked, began exhibiting what researchers call visual dissonance. Seeing repeated patterns in clouds and trees, perceiving shadows as independent of their source, claiming reflections, responded faster than they moved. Some reported hearing windows whisper. Others reported something knocking once, then never again. One woman, Hannah Lake, filmed a 12-minute YouTube video titled, "I Saw What Was Outside," and it's still there. The video is now deleted, but a few screenshots survive. At timestamp 6:44, the curtain behind her moves without wind at 9:02. A shape appears behind her, tall, bent, with limbs too long at 11:57. Her camera glitches and freezes on her face, mouth open, eyes wide. Her final words, "It's behind the glass. But the glass isn't for us." She went missing 2 days later. In 2016, a deep web leak known as Windows Set Archive included what appeared to be decrypted logs from a military network. One document referenced Event 1414A, an incident from 1952 involving mass hallucinations in North Dakota. But one line was circled in red ink. All subjects who reported noticing the window were later neutralized. Recommendation: avoid visual engagement. Initiate distraction protocol if observed. Distraction protocol? Some now believe the alert in 2008 wasn't to warn us about an external event. It was to prevent us from seeing it. By 2020, the incident had all but faded from public memory, dismissed as an isolated signal error, a viral urban legend, or mass paranoia. Until it happened again, April 14, 2020. Exactly 12 years and 11 months later, homes across western Minnesota received a brief interruption. Only 7 seconds. The screen flickered, the EAS tone stuttered, and a single frame appeared between the static, a window. From the inside, something outside, looking in. Only a handful of people noticed. Fewer caught it on video. Even fewer admitted to what they saw. But one person, a man named Daniel Krim, uploaded his screen capture with the title, "I think it came back to see if we still remembered." The video was removed within 2 hours. His account deleted. His home later found abandoned. Windows shattered from the inside. Then came the dreams. Hundreds of people on Reddit, Discord horror servers, and anonymous boards began sharing similar nightmares. They were all inside their homes. Something was outside the window, but they couldn't turn away, even when it smiled. And when they woke up, many found their blinds had been opened. In 2021, a new digital pattern was discovered inside a dormant government frequency. It wasn't a broadcast, it was a ping. It repeated every 313 minutes, a number that haunted researchers. 3 minutes 13 seconds, the exact length of the original alert. It wasn't signaling us, it was checking for a response. One decrypted packet, allegedly leaked from a surveillance server, contained a final embedded message, one not meant for the public. A message addressed to all active observers. It read, if the subject views external phenomena during Phase 1, proceed to Phase 2 containment. If the subject maintains eye contact with external phenomena, they are no longer subject. Then, a final line. Prepare for recurrence. Phase 3 scheduled. 2025. So what was the emergency alert? A test? A warning? Or a trigger? Some believe it was a false positive. That something approached our world, and the alert was designed to mask it. Others believe the alert was the event, and that what came after never left. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. The message wasn't an error. It wasn't hacked. It was intentional, and it was never meant to stop once you were one of the people who saw it. If you looked out the window when you shouldn't have, it still remembers you, and when it broadcasts again, it won't need to warn you first. This is Fade to Black, where the messages they tried to silence were never meant to end. Like, comment, subscribe, before this channel disappears too. Thank you for staying through the signal. If you're still here, it means you didn't look away. And if you did look outside, we won't ask what you saw, but we will ask one thing. Are your windows still closed? Stay curious, stay alert, and when the screen goes black again, don't blink. This is Fade to Black.